Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Professor Dr. Rizwan Jibil Qureshi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to my viewers. We have a new lecture of Advanced Object-Oriented Programming. Object-Oriented Development is the backbone of component-based development. So what is an object-oriented programming? Object-oriented programming or object-oriented development is a way of writing programs using objects. An object is a combination of data and methods to perform or integrated into a single entity that is uniquely identifiable. So object-oriented development or programming is way of writing program using objects to perform specific tasks, and it is based on the creation of human being because everything of this world can be considered as an object. So first of all, that is different than the procedural programming where we deal with the procedures. Here we deal with the objects. An object is a combination of data and methods into a single entity that is uniquely identifiable. For example, the data of an object. We also call data attributes, states, or properties. Masalan, data of an object like human being, name, ID, gender, contact, address, color. These all are attributes of an of human being. Or we have car color, car ID, car size, engine number, car number. Computer is an object. Chair is an object. So everything of this world can be categorized as an object. This is about the data. Then the methods. Methods also have different names. We call them functions, procedures, characteristics, behaviors. So that's the concept of object-oriented programming. We deal with objects which have data, which have methods, and we make a change in the state of an object using the data. For example, like I'm teaching in the classroom and we have students, faculty, instructor. Then I use data of an object of one of my students, like for example, Fahad. Can you come to the board and erase it? So I make a change in the state of Fahad object so he can perform an action or reaction. So methods are also actions or reactions of an object like human being, eating, sleeping, walking, thinking. I ask question, then students respond. So that's the reaction. So action or reaction are the methods. Writing, playing, singing, teaching. These all are actions or reactions of an object. We have categories of classes. What are the main categories of object-oriented classes? We have abstract class and we have concrete class. So objects are composed inside a class. For example, human being is a class that is a collection of objects. Like classroom is a collection of objects like instructor, students, board, chairs, marker, projector, screen. These all are objects, and we are inside a classroom. So we categorize objects inside classes like kursi or chair is belonging to furniture class. I gave example of car. Car belongs to vehicle class. So vehicle is a collection of classes like we have parent class, child class. We can have truck, bus, train, aeroplane, car. In car, we have sports car, we have jeep, we have normal car. So there are all objects, but they are inside the main parent class, which is vehicle. So abstract is abstract means abstraction means we hide the information from the user. So abstract classes does not have objects. Abstraction is only used to hide the information details. And when we write the keyword abstract, means this class cannot have objects. Its objects are always created in the concrete class. So using abstract class cannot create its instance, its object, whereas concrete classes are used for this purpose. Abstract keyword need not to be declared, needs not to be declared in C++, but in Java. So an object is used as an abstract to hide attributes and behavior. So information hiding is a key feature of object-oriented approach. It hides the implementation details from the user. For example, Maslan, as a driver of a car, it's not my problem that it has 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders, 8 cylinders car, or how the engine is working, how the piston is working, how the gearbox is working. I must know how to drive a car. Similarly, as a user of computer, it's not my problem. It has dual processor or i5, i3, i7, i10. How many processors are there? How the motherboard is working? How the integrated circuits or VLSI technology is implemented? That's not my problem. I'm not electrician. I'm not a mechanic. I'm a user of computer or of the driver of a car. Similarly, as a pilot of the plane, it's not your problem the how Boeing engine is working or Boeing planes are working, how Airbus engines are working. You must know how to fly a plane, and that applies to all other applications like as a programmer. When I'm using some framework like NetBeans or Visual Studio.NET, Cake PHP, Zen PHP, Ruby on Rails, WAMP server, or we have Kotlin, or we have Flutter. It's not my problem that how framework has been implemented, how the Visual Studio form is working, how the toolbox controls are working, how the property window is working. I must know how to implement the framework to customize an application. So it is used to hide the implementation detail from the user, or as a user of projector, it's not my problem how projector is working or I'm watching TV. It's not my problem of the viewer that how the TV is working. He has a control, and from control he can switch on or switch off, increase the volume, change the channels. Menus are there. So that's the concept of abstraction, to hide the complexity details from the user. That's the reason we have abstraction. So we have abstract classes and we have concrete classes. Object-oriented programming languages allows a programmer to implement the information hiding concept. So an object performs the function without indicating the method of its implementation. For example, a pilot can fly any plane without the knowledge how a plane engine operates, or like a driver of a car, how the car engine operates. Information hiding is also called as encapsulation. So there are different names: abstraction, information hiding, encapsulation. Next question: how many phases are there in the life of an object? As I just described few minutes before, that object-oriented programming is designed based on the creation of human being, how Allah has created the human being. So how many SDLC phases, system development life cycle phases, are there in the life of an object? Anything comes to your mind? We have logical phase and we have physical phase. Like Allah has created spirits of all human beings at the beginning of this world. And when that is the logical phase, the spirit. When human being born, that is the physical phase. Now it has a name, color, age, father, mother, contact, gender, residence, country ID, city ID. And it also can perform actions and reactions. So methods are there. During his whole life, that is the physical phase. When human being dies, that is again back to the logical phase. Now again, we call dead body. We don't call by name, or we don't call the spirit to come to the lecture, to attend a lecture, or to perform an action to a spirit. Same object-oriented programming is designed. When we declare a class, we declare its data, we declare its methods. That is the logical phase. When in the main method, we create like obj, obj1, obj2, that's the physical phase. So class name space object name is equal to new class name, like class name sum calc space obj1 is equal to new sum calc. So obj1 is the physical phase. Now it can perform actions and reactions. obj1 is the name, is the data, dot set, dot show, dot compute. So we can call the methods that we declare inside the class. Framework like NetBeans, Visual Studio. We have toolbox. So framework is a collection of objects, and toolbox has different controls. We can drag and drop on the form window, the ID environment, integrated development environment that I covered in my previous lectures. Command one, command 2, command 3, text box 1, text box 2, text box 3, label box 1, label box 2, label box 3, checkbox 1, checkbox 2, checkbox 3, form 1, form 2, form 3, project 1, project 2, project 3. So that's, we can create objects physically, and then it has actions and reactions. It can have property window. Then we can consider other example like application. When you write URL in the browser, like hotmail.com, amazon.com, gmail.com, or try to have internet services, banking services, internet banking, a session is created and you can see log on screen. So when you enter username password for authentication, after authentication, the logon window job is to authenticate or validate the user. Once this is done, it passes the control to form window, like registration window or transaction window. The logon screen is back to logical. Once you call it, you write URL, it's a physical. After its job is done, it's back to the logic. Until your session expires or you want to refresh, again, the login screen will be back to logical to physical. So again, you have to enter username password to move to the wind farm window, registration window, or transaction window. So I explained biological and physical phases of an object which is like the human being. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum.